Happy Monday. Good afternoon. At least it's afternoon for me. It might still be morning for some of y'all. Depending on where y'all are at in the world. Could even be nighttime. Or getting close to it. Hey, 420. Hi, Eternal. Yeah, I see y'all's names are back. Well, that's good to know. That's good sign to see that. So, that way I know who the heck I'm talking to based on y'all's chat name. Instead of looking like a fool, not sure who it is. Hi, Eternal. What you up to? Hello, Nimona. From New Zealand. How you doing? Eternal's like, exactly. I'm over here looking like a fool, too. Well, baby, you weren't alone, because everybody's name that came up, unless they had y'all's part of y'all's chat name in there, I would have never known. Hi, Catherine. How you feeling, honey? I saw your comment this morning. I must have missed it. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Hi, Karen. How you doing, beautiful? How you feeling? You know, I was on late, or I should say early this morning for a little bit. I was trying to get on yesterday, but I was having problems with my internet connection. Like, I couldn't stream, and I couldn't even watch any videos. Like, it kept freezing on me. Like, how y'all will say when my stream freezes, and like, you know, you see the wheel that keeps spinning like it's trying to connect, but it's not. That's what I was dealing with yesterday. So, because I still been trying to work on the Patreon memberships. The page is up, but I still haven't been able to post anything to it yet, which I'm starting to think I might have to do some private live streams instead of doing, you know, pre-recorded videos, and just connect the link over there into the memberships so y'all can watch it. It'd be a reading just for y'all over there, but I might have to do it that way right now because I can't seem to get any of my pre-recorded videos to upload. Hi, Sunnyland. How you doing, beautiful? You still feel weak? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Hopefully you're starting to get your strength back. I wasn't sure how often I'd come on y'all in between everything, so I told y'all I would try and come on during the day at some point, so here I am. Oh, I missed you too, honey. Yeah, no, the last few streams I did, it was late, and you probably already went to bed. Because it was like between, I think, between 1 and 4 in the morning, my time. Karen, I have the page up. It's on Patreon, is where the memberships are. I know Eternal has the link. I don't know if Eternal can share the link in here. But it is up, sweetheart. Because I'll probably end up doing like half of my live streams just for the members. So if you pay for a membership, you'll have access to those links. So unless you buy a membership, half of my live streams and other readings I do, people won't be able to access. Uh-oh, what happened, Eternal? Were you misbehaving, baby? I think I did pin the link in the description box, but I'm not positive. So Thank you, Eternal. Karen, for everybody else who's here, that's the Patreon link to my webpage. So y'all can take a look. But I thought I'd come on here for a little bit. And, if I, maybe do a couple paid readings, but I did do the Daily Collective on the, stream from earlier this morning. Know what, Eternal? You talking about the argument you had on somebody else's stream? So, Karen, you'd have to send me your email, sweetheart. And I don't want to put your email out here for everybody to see. So, Karen, if you look in the chat box, where my name's highlighted in yellow, you'll see a pinned comment. And you'll see where it says Venmo and Zelle, and then there's an email address. That's my email address. You could send me an email that way, sweetheart, and then I can post and send you the link to it. He wishes I was gay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that could be a few people, baby. Eternal, why don't you send me a private message, baby? Let me know who it is, just out of curiosity. Because I could think of 2 or 3 different people that could be. I just want to be nosy right now. Oh, okay. Okay, I know who it is. Well, yeah. I guess they're not happy with you still. Yes, Karen, that's right. At Gmail. Well, I guess they're really still mad at you. That's all I can say. I haven't talked to them about any of that, Eternal, so I don't know, baby. I haven't mentioned it since that night. To be honest, I actually completely forgot about it. Of course, honey. So, differences of opinion, how things get handled, which is interesting, Eternal, because I could have sworn I saw the person's name that you and that person had that disagreement about. I could have sworn I saw their name pop up in here like a week or 2 ago. And they appeared like right when I was getting ready to sign off. But it was the same person. Just by the name, I knew who it was. So, I don't know, baby. But I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, I told y'all I understand both sides of it. I do. Oh, well, I've missed you too, Karen. I didn't think about your last couple nights, beautiful, when I was streaming, but I figured you probably already went to bed. So, I knew probably most people had already gone to bed. What you wanted about that person that y'all had the disagreement over? Yeah, I know they still been around. You know, I felt them. So, and then they finally appeared. I saw their name pop up, but like I said, it was right when I was getting ready to leave. In fact, I think like a few seconds before I ended the stream, I saw their name appear in the chat, but I didn't get to respond. You didn't come home until today? So you've been in the hospital this whole time, Karen? I thought you had already went home, sweetheart. But I know the last few times that I've streamed, it was late. It was early morning. Even Eternal missed me because he didn't catch it because he was already in bed. Oh, my bad. I was thinking you were already home, sweetheart. But anyhow, I don't know who this message is for, y'all, okay? It's for my lovebirds out there. My singles will say. But the last couple of days, I think part of this is like an extension of the general collective I did earlier this morning. And I was talking about relationships, like just a summary of the collective I did this morning. I was talking about how Spirit was mentioning how some of y'all were having a lot of regrets over relationships you have with people, whether that's family, friends, or romantic. But the last couple of days, I've been picking up someone's energy. Like someone's really like missing someone that they had a strong romantic connection to at one point. But I feel like something happened where you chose to end that connection and maybe even see other people. And now I'm picking up like you're wanting a second chance, like you realize you made a mistake letting that person go. And I'm getting the energy like you can't stop thinking about this person. I even have the Eight of Swords right here. You know, all up in your thoughts. You constantly think about this person. And it's like you're waiting for them to let you know it's okay to contact them. Like, whoever this is, I feel like you're really scared. You're really scared to reach out to them because you're afraid they're just going to reject you and shut you down. But at the same time, you can't stop thinking about them either. And there's this need, like, you know, you're waiting for a sign. This is what I pulled out. And you still want them. And you're, you know, like I said, you're thinking about them every day. You remember everything about them. So now what do? I mean, I see many of y'all want to rush right in there, sweep this person off their feet. Let them know that, you know, your feelings are deeper than you have realized before. But will this person give you that shot? You know, will they accept your apology? Because I feel like there's a need to apologize. Question is, are you ready to apologize and mean it? Because I'm picking up on someone. It's like I get a sense of being caught up in your ego, I'll say. There was this cockiness of like, oh well, you're not the only person in this world I can go see and date and, you know, make this romantic connection with. You know, I have other options. But all in the middle of it, you also knew like this person's unlike anyone else you've met. So now you're in deep regret, figuring out what to do next. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm going to tap more into your energy. And then I might do an extended of this on the Patreon page. So, I just want to pull out a few cards, see what this is about. I want to see what your energy is. So, Spirit, Can you, like, show me, clarify this for me, please? Besides this Eight of Swords, what else? About this person that my subscribers and viewers can't forget. What else should y'all do, Spirit? Because you obviously can't get enough of them. And I'm drawing the energy like no one else compares to this one person. And I feel like you're being haunted by them too. Whether it's their name, memory of their face, or you might even see them and other people you come across out in public. So, alright, Spirit. Show me what this connection's about. So this is someone that I don't feel like you've talked to recently. This feels more like a no contact type romantic connection, but you really want them back. Spirit, clarify these cards for me. What else does the collective need to know about this no contact that they can't stop thinking about? So beautiful people, it don't matter what sign you are. This is a collective. Take what messages resonate. Leave behind the rest. If something doesn't fit, don't force it to fit. Okay? Yeah, every single time you think about this person, you get excited about them. You're excited about even this possible reunion with them. If they'll give you this chance. Here you are. This is you wanting to make up with them. So there's a sense of excitement. And you're hoping and praying. I even have the Nine of Cups here. They're your wishes come true. But I get the feeling it's like you didn't see them that way before. It took a sense of you having to maybe walk away from them and date other people and then come back and realize, no, that person, you know, that man doesn't compare to all the other guys, you know, or those guys don't compare to that one guy on your mind or that one girl in your heart. So there's a deep emotional attachment to this person that you can't forget. It's like I feel a sense of like you're intrigued by them. What else, Spirit? Why are these cards here? Well, I have 4 wands here. Is this a possible reunion? I see it. Only problem is, beautiful people, you're going to have to release control. Because here you are showing up in this Emperor. So you need to not feel like you constantly have to be in control. Like, I'm drawing in an energy of someone who, you know, I get their sense of ego of like, okay, well, if I, you know, spend this time with you, if I spend my resources on you, doing things with you or doing things for you or giving you things that I should get my way. So what I'm picking up is there's this energy of someone like you thought this person would chase you after you walked away from them. Like I'm picking up an energy of someone who thought, okay, well, because I've had other women chase me in the past, or I've had other guys chase me in the past, you know, this person's going to chase me too. They're going to prove to me that they want me, that I matter more to them than maybe, you know, they matter to me right now. And so you were, you know, wanting and hoping they would feed into your ego, but they didn't do that. You know, you cut them off and they said, fine, bye. Like it was nothing. So I feel like that's the other intrigue that you are drawn to them. So you're going to have to release control and realize that maybe they're not going to chase you. Maybe, you know, because they understand their value and their worth, they're going to say, okay, you know, it is what it is. You know, I could find someone else too. You know, I'm not waiting around for you. And you thought this person would wait around for you, but they didn't. So there's a need to release control. If you want this person back, if you want this and this, you're going to have to release control and get out of your ego. Because I'm getting a devilish energy here. You're going to have to be upfront with this person. Tell them, you know, own your mistakes. There's the devil right there. I can't make it up. Here you are. Own your mistakes. Hold yourself accountable. Be upfront with this person. Get out of this devilish ego. You're caring. You know, feeling like, okay, this person should be chasing me. They should be doing all these things for me that people from the past before them would do. But they're not. And now it's like I feel like someone's licking their wounds. And you keep watching them and you're waiting, thinking, oh, this will be the day they're going to reach out to me and ask how I'm doing, and then I'll get my shot again. But that's not going to happen here. I'm getting that spirit saying, like, this behavior with you, needing people to prove themselves to you with this lovers right here, that they really want you, that they're all for you, that there's no one else but you. No, you messed up. Now it's time to prove to them why they should give you another shot. So, can this work with this lovers here? Yeah. Will they accept your apology? Will they accept you back? I don't know, beautiful people. But you know, it's like I always tell y'all. If you want someone, what are you waiting for? Why are you allowing your ego to tell you to not go after them? Because you won't know until you ask. So why aren't you asking? Because you're afraid of rejection? Okay, sure, they can reject you. They can tell you no, they're not interested. They can tell you no, they're not going to give you another shot. You had your shot and you missed out. But then, you know, at least you have an answer. To where, like, right now, currently, you're over there licking your wounds, dreaming about them, wanting them. You want them, and waiting because you can't get enough of them. Because you're so attracted to them, too. Right here. You're so attracted to this person, you can't get enough of them. But you're not willing to make that move out of fear of rejection. So, if you don't step up to the plate, you'll never know. So then you're going to be caught up in this energy like, what if? What if? What if I do make that phone call? What if I do message them? What if I do drive by their house? At least you'll get your answer. Instead of sitting here right now like, yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll get my shot with them again. Maybe they'll open that door and allow me back in. But you're not going to know that. Because you keep telling yourself, oh, they'll just turn me down. That may not be true. They may not turn you down. They might be waiting for you to get this, how do I put this? That wild streak out of you, we'll say, out of your system. You know, being able to play the field and go out with other people, only coming to realize there's nobody else but them. But are you willing to give to this connection? Because I'm picking up on someone. So whoever you are that I'm picking up, it's like your energy's telling me, like, when you first met this person or they came across your path, you didn't feel like the timing was right. That's what I'm getting. And now because you felt like the timing wasn't right then, you felt like, okay, well, because the time's not right, yeah, I really like them, but it's not our time yet. You decided to put them up on the shelf, is what I'm seeing, and thinking they would wait for you. But they didn't wait. And I feel like someone out there I'm picking up on, there's this sense of jealousy now because you see this person is available to all these other people. And there's other people out there that are paying for their attention that you're seeing now. They might come in and sweep this person and take that chance away from you. When you had the chance before them, but you let them go. So now what are you going to do? And I get, well, Peter, you don't know. You don't know what you want because you have options, but that's just it. If you have options, baby, then that tells me it ain't you. Because this is someone that understands they have options, but they know nobody else compares. Except for this one person that you can't stop thinking about. So, like I said, take this if it fits. It may not apply to everybody. So, what else, Spirit? I'm going to pull a couple more cards and then I'll do an extended on the memberships. Get into this person that's on your heart, on your mind. See what they are thinking. Spirit, what else? I feel like there was a lesson that needed to be learned. To appreciate and value who it is you have while you have them. Because tomorrow's not promised. Yeah, making that decision to approach them. Here you are, trying to figure out, make that decision. You know, you can stay single and not give to this person. Make them, your girlfriend or boyfriend. Make them that exclusive, single long-term commitment that maybe they're looking for. Because here you are juggling, playing the field. But you can't play them. And I feel like that's what you've come to realize. I think whoever this is, you come to realize they are that once-in-a-lifetime chance of happiness, long-term, forever, happily ever after. And I feel like for some of y'all, it scares you. The idea that this person has gotten into your heart, even into your soul, as deep as they have. But you keep wanting to run away. And you keep trying to forget about them. But you come to realize you can't forget them. Spirit just said they are unforgettable. So why should they give you a chance? See? Storybook, happily ever after. That's what you see in this person. Now that you've had this time away from them. To see that, yes, they are the person you want. They are the person you can see happily ever after. And that's life-changing for you. In a good way, but it also scares you. But are you going to release this opportunity? Because I feel like it's going to be like a moment of now or never. And yeah, there might be others trying to get their attention, which I do feel like they're very attractive. Not just you being attracted to them, but I feel like there's other people out there that find them very attractive too. And you're starting to notice that. And that scares you. So, what else, Spirit? What else does the collective need to know before I do an extended on this a little bit later? Remember when I said there is this past connection? Like, this isn't a new connection. This is someone in your past that you cut away. And you weren't willing to give to them. But I feel like you're willing to give to them now. So, Spirit's saying it's time to give. Give to them as much as they are trying to give to you. Instead of holding back and playing it safe. You can't play safe with this person. You know, you're going to have to, be unguarded and take off your armor and allow them to get into your heart as much as you want them to feel you in their own heart. You're going to have to do the same. So this has to be a giving and receiving, and this is the lesson. It can't be so much you give when you want, when you feel like giving, and they're over there trying to give their all to you. No, you're going to have to give all of you, not just portions of you. And this is the lesson. So you ready? You ready to give to this person? You ready to give all of yourself to this person? But I feel like you're going to have to really prove to them why they should give you that part of them again. Or why they should even open the door. This is going to be all about not just talking. There has to be actions in this. You don't approach them and actually show them by your actions. I feel like you won't ever get that opportunity again. And yeah, someone else might come in and take that opportunity away from you. So the choice is yours, beautiful people. You don't want to hurt them? Well, Peter, nobody said you had to be sexually intimate with them. You know, intimacy isn't just sex. Intimacy is mental and emotional. and spiritual. It's, um, being vulnerable in ways that maybe can scare you because you understand if you allow that person to get that close to you, that, they get to know all sides of you. Not just the mask or the facade you put out there in front of everybody else, but behind closed doors. You share your deepest fears, your deepest dreams, your worries, your fears, those intimate little details that you do throughout your day. That's what's mental and emotional intimacy is. It's not just sex. So just remember that, baby. You might have that opportunity, you may not. The option is still yours. You know, if they are that one person that you can be yourself with without judgment, that they'll still love you and accept you for who you are and not run away from you, then that might be the one. But if it's someone that you still feel very uncomfortable with, like you can't allow them to get to your vulnerable side, share your weaknesses with them, then maybe they're not the one. But this is for someone that has learned the hard way, her, who has learned the hard lesson that thinking this person would always be there and that opportunity would always be on that shelf waiting for them. It's not. So you keep waking up thinking about them, and that's the energy I'm picking up. Every morning you wake up, this person comes to mind. You tried running from this connection, but you can't forget them. Can't stop thinking about them. No, I'm sure it's a long story, Peter. Only you can decide what's best for you. But yeah, so that's the lesson. You want them, give all yourself to them, not just portions of you. And don't think that you can just treat them any kind of way and they're going to accept it. They're not going to accept that kind of treatment if you only treat them like an option. You have to treat them like they are the prize. They are your priority. And that you're willing to build something deep with them. Because I feel like this person's a very deep person. It's not just the physical. It's the mental and emotional they're looking for. They're looking for that forever partner. But are you ready for that? If you're not ready, Peter, then, be upfront and honest with them. But that tells me then that whoever this no contact is, don't reach out to them then. If you're really not ready to give your all to them and cut away your options, don't even go knocking. Hi, Tim. How you doing, baby? Hello, Ahmed. My hair is different. He'll get some getting used to. What, you've never seen my hair up like this before? I rarely put it up like this. I'm a person, I like my hair down. I don't like it in a ponytail, but I have those days where I don't want my hair on my neck either, so this was one of those days. What did you miss? I don't know, baby. I was just mentioning my hair and then talking to Peter about this one connection. This no contact. Whoever this is, whoever's I'm picking up on, whose ever energy, it's one person y'all can't forget. No matter how hard you try. It's like they're in your soul. They're in your spirit. In fact, you know what song came to mind? I've been waking up to the last couple mornings. So this is the other reason why I was doing part of this. By John Cicada, called Angel. That's a song that I keep getting. You can't forget them. They got a piece of you that you never thought you would ever give to someone. You never thought they'd be able to connect to your soul that way, but they did. And no matter how hard you try, you can't forget them. So, well, welcome back, Eternal. You feel better now that you took a shower? So, some of y'all feel like whoever I'm picking up, you have this regrets lying to this person too. You regret lying to them. And back then you weren't willing to accept this closeness with them. You weren't willing to accept that feeling they give you, that sense of safety, that intimate connection. That's what Spirit's saying to me here. Stop living in that regret. Make those choices, change something. If you want this person, I feel like they're there for you. But you're going to have to be accountable. Hold yourself accountable, because I feel like this person will hold you accountable for making them an option instead of treating them like the prize that they are. But I feel like whoever this is, you've come to realize that now. They are the prize, because no one compares. The Aerosmith song came on at work today. Which Aerosmith song, Tim? She dumped you for a cheater and is running back to you? Well, Peter, you know what? Whoever I picked up on, I'm not picking up on your person. I'm picking up on someone's energy that's watching me, that has watched me. I haven't tapped into their energy. So, just so you know, what I just read was whoever watches me. Now, I'll have to do an extended to tap in this person's energy, who's on your heart. What will they do? Will they take you back? Will they give you another chance? Will they accept your apology and be willing to give it another shot? You don't want to miss a thing. That's a good song. I got memories of that song. Actually, that movie. But I do know the song well, too. That song's from that movie. What is it? Space Cowboys? Is that the one? No, Armageddon. Yeah, I remember when that movie came out. My mama was still alive. And I watched it with her and my daddy. Yeah, it's a good movie. So I got some good memories of it with my parents. My mama loved that movie. It was interesting, in fact. Back then when that movie came out, we did not watch it yet because we weren't home a lot. I was busy working, or I was helping my dad with my brother's football or baseball, because my daddy was coaching my brother's team. And so most times my mama had to stay home and be in the house, because especially during the summer months, the humidity would always aggravate her breathing. And so she ended up being rushed to the hospital one of the days we were at the ball field. And right before she was rushed to the hospital, I remember her and I had a disagreement about something. And I even got mad at her, because she tried telling me that I was acting just like her. And I told her I wasn't anything like her. Me being a stubborn child, even at the age, 14, 15, 16 years old. I knew everything and my mama didn't know nothing. So I think I hurt her feelings. So I said something like that to her before she ended up being put in ICU. And then thankfully she recovered, and it wasn't long after that we all sat with my brother and watched that movie. And if you think you didn't see someone cry like a baby, I cried like a baby when I watched that movie, because right there at the end of the movie, I remember the daughter saying to her dad how she lied to him, is what she said. When she said, "I'm nothing like you," because she is you. And that's, that hit me hard. It reminded me of that conversation with my mama. Your Kiss is on my list. No, I don't know the name of the song. Who is it by? I'd have to look it up. Hi, Karma Gupta. How you doing? But yeah, I got memories of that movie and that song. I got so mad at her too. Oh my gosh. Being, that young in my teenage years, yeah, people would say, well, you're a teenager, you were young, but I still felt like I could have handled it more maturely for my age back then than what I did with her being so sick. What do you mean? What are my thoughts on relationships and stuff? I mean, you gotta be more specific. Like, what kind of relationships are you talking about? We're talking about friends, family, romantic. Yeah, I've been shuffling cards. Play what? I don't play games. I read tarot and oracle. I just came on to say hi to some people for a little bit. Booger man, that happy ending would be my pickle stabbers. They're sharp. No, thank you, Sunnyland, for doing that. Alright, Tim. Well, thank you for stopping in and saying hi, baby. Enjoy the rest of your day at work. So, I'm just going to pull a couple more cards, and then I'll leave it alone, and I'll do an extended on this later. See what this person, the person on your mind, this no contact connection. For those of y'all who are in a no contact, because that's what this very much feels. Will they give you that shot that you're looking for? That's the question. You need to go to work too, Eternal? Well, baby, I won't be on here long, so I just came on here to do this real quick. Say hi. If I don't get any paid readings, I'll end it here in a few minutes, so I can get back to work and work on the Patreon stuff and do this extended. Alright, Spirit. Can I get a couple more cards? Thank you. Wow. Clarify the Spirit. Show me. And I have the Lovers again with the Devil. You can't stop thinking about this person. Here you are trying to decide what to do next with this Judgment card here. But you're not taking any action. It's like you're stalling out of fear. You're afraid. You're afraid to make a choice to choose them too. Because you feel like, and you keep asking yourself, why would they choose you? Out of everyone out there, why would they choose you? And Spirit's asking you, why not? Why are you not, holding yourself in a higher regard? You do have things to offer someone. And if that's what's keep holding you back, then maybe you're not ready for love. And that means maybe you're going to have to just walk away from any possible connection, romantic connection you have made in the recent weeks, months, even not, I'll say like within the past year. And be single for a little while longer before you try dating anyone again and seeing where it goes. But still, I feel like for some of y'all won't let this person go. No matter what you do, you can't forget them. The Devil card makes you think of a video short you just posted. Oh, I didn't see that one, Eternal. I'll have to go back and see if I can find it, baby. But I don't think I got the notification for it. Hi, Matthew. And Peter, it's okay to be single. Sometimes we're not ready, and that's okay. It's okay to not be ready for someone. Even if they're ready and you're not, it's okay. It's a matter of being honest with yourself and with that person. Instead of stringing them along, thinking you're going to make a serious commitment to them when you have no plans on doing that. At least not right now. That's what Spirit's saying to me. But still, in the future, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next month, maybe even next year, if you're willing to, reconsider this person, will they take you back? I don't know, baby. That's what the extended will be about. Because I'll go into their energy then and find out what their feelings are. I just know I picked up on someone. And I was trying to get that energy out of my energy so I can read for others. But there's nothing wrong with being single. I mean, hey, Peter, look at it this way from my point of view, okay? Though technically, I'm married, right? But I don't have a relationship with that person. And, we're roommates. There's nothing going on between us, right? Does that mean I'm necessarily ready for someone new? Because I, have nothing going on with that person. When I say nothing, like, there's nothing. There's no romantic anything going on between us. We barely talk to each other. The right person comes around and wants to sweep me off their feet, I'll give them that chance. But I also know I'd have to do a couple of things before I could really give them all of me that they would want, which I wouldn't blame them. But, I got things I still got to take care of here first before I can completely walk away. And that's okay. It's better to be single for some people. For some people, that's right, all men. Pretty much, all men. My heart, I'm single because nobody has my heart. That person lost my heart a long time ago, and they'll never get it back. No matter what they do, they can't reach me. I've already slammed that door shut and nailed it shut. So, my heart doesn't belong to anyone. So, yeah, it's up there for grabs. But you see, it would take someone extremely special to step forward and say, yes, they want me. And they're willing to do what I would need, or even what my daddy and my dad would want from me. And, you know, the world we live in today, it seems like more and more guys are forgetting um, what that means, you know, like how my daddy and my dad brought me up. You know, guys are supposed to be a gentleman. You know, they're supposed to be the protectors and providers. Um, you know, when I was younger, I would tell you, like, if you showed up at my house wanting to take me out and knocked on my door, you weren't taking me anywhere. My daddy would have told you to get lost, pretty much. Especially if you didn't show up with flowers for me. That was a must. You had to have flowers in your hand for me. Otherwise, my daddy would tell you, nope, not my baby. You're not leaving and going anywhere with her. And then my daddy even had the expectation of, if he didn't have the means to take me out somewhere nice, and I'm not talking about an expensive restaurant like, you know, fine dining, but if you couldn't at least take me out to a sit-down restaurant, um, and think that, you know, fast food was going to be good enough, you were wrong again. My daddy would tell you no. You're not taking me anywhere. So there's certain expectations I was brought up with to expect, right or wrong. For some, they may not see it that way. You know, Ahmed, I get why some of y'all say that, but I'm going to tell you what my daddy always told me. Love doesn't pay the bills, and that's the difference. So, if you can't treat me right, if you can't spoil me, my daddy would tell you to get lost. I'm a daddy's girl. So, like, I watched my daddy spoil my mama. I mean, when I say spoil my mama, he went to work and provided. He also came home and cooked for us. My mama didn't cook, my daddy cooked. He also would help around the house. And on those special holidays and anniversaries and such, at least once a year, my daddy went out and bought my mama a nice piece of diamond jewelry to show his love and appreciation for her. And then for like Valentine's Day, anniversary, and every now and then it would be just because. He would go by the florist and bring home a dozen roses for my mama. So you see, I was treated to expect certain things, certain type of treatment. So you take it how you want. But you wouldn't stand a chance with me if you think that way. Because my daddy would have put you back in your place. Nick F., you can get lost. In fact, you know what, Nick F.? Let's see, where's that one card? I always put it to the side now. Let me find it. I probably buried it. I did. I don't know where I did with it. Probably got stuck to one of my cards. Nope, it's right here. You agree with my daddy, Peter? Well, I'm glad you agree with my daddy, baby, because a lot of guys out there look at me crazy. I mean, you're talking to someone when my daddy bought me my first diamonds when I was 10 years old. You know, that was my first love. So, here you go, Nick F. This is just for you from the divine. And yeah, you probably have to read it backwards, but, you know. I love that card. That's right, Bonnie. Proof is in the pudding. I love that, Bonnie. Yeah, I bet all of you and your sisters were daddy's little girls. That's the way it's supposed to be. Your daddy is your first love. Just like for boys, for the guys, your mom is your first love. So when you go out in the dating world, usually you're looking for someone that reminds you, that has some of those same characteristics and traits of your mama. So I was treated, to be put on a pedestal, you can say. Ahmed, you're right. And you know what? Let me tell you something. You know what my daddy did? Because you bring up something that I watched my parents go through, that I lived through, in fact. Um, my parents were trying to buy a house, but they didn't have a good enough credit at the time. So they opted to do one of those rent to own. So they were, going to rent this house from the people who owned it and eventually get financing to buy the house from them, right? Well, because my daddy ended up having some health issues, he ended up in the hospital and almost died from getting a blood clot that went from his leg up into his lung. So he was put out of work for a couple weeks. And in the process, he lost his job. So my parents couldn't pay the rent for the next couple months. So guess what? We were evicted. In fact, the sheriff came to the house and threw all of our belongings out on the front lawn of the house. And obviously, my parents were devastated. But you know what my daddy did? He went and got a U-Haul. And yeah, we ended up sleeping, I think, in a hotel room one night. And then I stepped up because I had a heirloom piece of jewelry that my great grandmother left for me. And I gave it to my parents and I told them, see if they could sell it, get whatever money they could get so we can get another house. And that's what they did. And we were able to get another house. But then, do you think my daddy just went home and licked his wounds? Hell no. Even though my daddy was facing his own health battles, he found another job. Not only did he find another job right away, but he even got a second job and worked the weekends. That man worked 6, 7 days a week. That's what my daddy did. And were we still struggling? Yeah, we struggled. But my daddy never gave up. He still gave his all. And my mama stuck by him. In fact, they were married for over 15 years before, unfortunately, my mother passed away. So there is that. So I get what you're saying, Ahmed. I watched that with my own parents. They did go through difficult times too. Now let me tell you something. I watched my daddy still spoil my mama. When he got his commission check, he still once a year would save up and go buy her something nice to let her know how much he loved her and appreciated her. Even with her battling her own illness, he did that. In fact, he bought her a pair of diamond stud earrings. And he also got her a diamond tennis bracelet. And my mama loved it. And I watched my mama, truly appreciate that from my daddy. So, so, I'm just telling you what I was raised to believe. Well, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Eternal Light's right. You gotta put yourself in a quiet place where you're not being distracted by anyone or anything. And you gotta clear out your mind. And then listen. Don't try and control it. Whatever thoughts come to you, write it down on a piece of paper. Then don't try and make it make sense as you're writing it down. Just keep writing until you feel like the messages come to you have stopped. and then go through and read it. And you'll find that message in there. But you gotta put yourself in, like, out in nature where nobody's around. No distractions. Just get lost in Mother Nature. No, well, what does young have to do with anything? You wanna know how old I was? When I started experiencing, hearing, spirits call my name when I was alone. Or I would see someone in my bedroom who shouldn't have been there, even people I didn't know. They were complete strangers. I was 6, 7 years old. And it scared living daylights out of me. I ran away from it for years. I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to believe. I didn't want to feel what I felt. I didn't want to hear what I heard. And most times I didn't want to see them. I just wanted them to leave me alone. But it reached a point where I ended up being about 14 years old having a conversation with my grandmother. And that's when my grandmother told me what I was experiencing. You know what you need to learn? You need to learn psychic shielding. So if you feel like that you're being hurt by them, or there's too many of them speaking all at once, attacking you, you need to Google psychic shielding. There'll be different websites. Pick one of them and read, learn, absorb all that. That shielding will help protect you. But you got to ask your spirit guides and guardian angels for help, and ask them to step up and protect you. And in your divine, whoever is, your God, whoever God you worship, ask them for that love and protection. It'll take time, but you'll get the hang of it. So, I'm sorry you're going through that, but Eternal Light's right. There's many of us out here who were scared, because we didn't know what it was we were thinking, because we were afraid every single time we would experience something. And if we opened our mouths and told a loved one, a family member, like our parents, they would look at us crazy and want to lock us up in a psychiatric ward. But we knew that we weren't crazy. Even though knowing that, we still ran away from it. I'll share a story with you. Um, Even though I had the experiences I had when I was 6, 7 years old, where I would see ghosts, I would hear them, I would see spirit orbs. I even had out-of-body experiences that scared the living daylights out of me. Of course, I didn't realize what I was experiencing back then. Like I said, because I didn't open up to anybody. I didn't tell a soul what I was experiencing. And it wasn't until one day I was spending time with my grandmother at home. We were in the living room watching TV, and I see a spirit orb come flying across in the room right in front of me. It was bright white, and it shot across the room like a shooting star. And without thinking, I said out loud, "What the hell is that?" And naturally, my grandmother heard me and asked me about it, and I told her. And I was not ready to talk to anybody, especially her. But I had no choice in it, because I know she heard what I said, and I couldn't sit there and lie to her and tell her I didn't see anything, or, I wasn't going to tell her. I did. And I'm thankful I did, because that's when she told me. Psychics runs in our family. And naturally, I'm psychic like her. I got my abilities from her, that side of the family. And she tried telling me to not be afraid of it, to listen, to trust it, to trust what I see, to trust what I hear, and to trust in what I know. Even though I may not have an explanation of how I may know something, but I can't tell you how I know. I still need to trust in it. Yeah, well, I got up from that conversation thinking my grandma was crazy. And I thought she had lost her marbles. And I laughed and, didn't think anything else of it until a year later. I was up late one night doing schoolwork. I was the only one that was up at that time. And it was both my parents and my brother were in the house, but they were already in bed asleep. And I was getting ready to go to bed. And when I got up to hit the light switch, turn the light off in my bedroom so I can close my eyes and go to sleep, knowing I had to get up, go to school the next day, I heard a voice tell me not to go to sleep. And the reasons they told me not to go to sleep was because my mother was going to be rushed to the hospital that morning. And I was just hours away from it happening. Did I want to believe that? Heck no. I thought I was losing it. It's like, this can't be real. Because I was even, trying to make sense of it because it's like, I just saw her an hour ago and she was fine. Why would this even happen? I couldn't make it make sense, even though she was sick. But even in her sickness, she was doing pretty good from my point of view, from my perspective. So there was only one thing I could do: listen to it and, try my best to be there or ignore it. Well, I couldn't ignore it, and I knew that. So I did my best trying to stay awake, knowing it was coming. As crazy as it sounded, I knew it was going to happen. And unfortunately, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I jumped out of bed, went running across the hall to my mama's room. She wasn't there. Searched the rest of the house. It was empty. I knew then what had already happened. And we're talking about a time when cell phones didn't exist. So it's not like I could pick up my cell phone and call my parents and ask, "Where are you?" And at that moment, I didn't think of picking up the phone, the landline, to call the hospital and find out if they were there. I just made a decision. It's like having to really process what just happened. That I was warned hours before this was going to happen, that it happens. That was a lot to take in, being 15 years old. It scared the daylights out of me. And sure enough, an hour or two later, as I'm sitting on the couch in the living room, the door opens. Here comes my daddy and my brother. And I'm looking at both of them. Where's my mama? And that's when my daddy confirmed that she had to be rushed to the hospital. She almost died. I can't make that up. And that was the door. And that was probably the biggest pivotal moment of my life where I had to come to realize my grandma's not crazy after all. Even though I knew before then she wasn't crazy, but I was still running away from it. I was still in denial of it. I couldn't deny it anymore. And I had to come to that realization. If something like that were to happen again, because I'm too chicken to listen and to do whatever I had to do with whatever information I was given, I didn't want to live in that regret if it happened again and I didn't act. So I had no choice but to force myself to accept it. And everything changed from there. So, alright, Eternal. Well, you have a good day, baby. I'm gonna go here in a few minutes, too. So, I just came on to say hi. And do that one little love reading. I'm just gonna have to do an extended on it now. See what this person's thinking and feeling. I told you I'd still be around at different times. Yeah, Ahmed, that sounds like precognition. Some people experience precognition in a wake state, like I do usually. Or they can have dreams. I've experienced it that way too. It's good to see you, Eternal. So have a good day, baby. Um, I don't know if I'll be on tonight. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna allow Spirit to guide me when I'm supposed to come on. Since, you know, like I said, I'm still trying to focus on the Patreon memberships and get things posted in there and stuff, so. Well, beautiful people, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell that says all, so you'll be notified whenever I come online. And I do have the Patreon link. Eternal posted it earlier. I'll share it later if I can. And so y'all can check that out too. Because there will be just content on my Patreon that only people who pay for the membership will get access to. So, some of the readings will get released to y'all later. Some of them won't. But we'll see how the day plays out, beautiful people. But I'm going to go so I can get some more work done. Hi, Lily Hillis. So I'm wishing y'all nothing but love and light and a wonderful Monday. Until next time, beautiful people. Bye.